So what I love is just how simple it is. You know, we just pull up to the garage here, and then it just takes a second or two to get the connector for the recharge plugged in, and you'll see that as I pull in here how easy it is.
That's great, Dianne.
So I love the e-brake on this car too, so don't even need to use the brake pedal.
Oh, wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah, so just I set, park, push this, which pops open for the charging port. So after I push the button, all I do is just pop this up, open the little connector there. Got my charger cord here. Pull it along. Click. And now it's ready to charge. And that's it. All right, so then this is the portable cord that, you know, if we're out on the road and we needed to do a trickle charge, we also have this cord that comes with the car. And it's got its prong and then similar plug-in, just like what I did on the home unit.
My understanding, there's only a couple things to maintain. Rotate the tires at every 5,000 miles, and Nissan does it for free, and they've already been rotated. And I believe the only other thing we have, let's see if I can open this. The only other thing we have to do is put windshield wiper fluid in it. So nothing else you have to touch.
How about brake fluid?
Potentially, yeah. So there's very few moving parts, believe it or not, in this engine. It removes a lot of systems: oil, water, radiators, fuel pumps, water pumps. All of those things get eliminated as a result. And so this is actually the second time I've only looked inside here. So it's pretty neat.
I remember the figure that you were told that there's 20 moving parts in an electric vehicle as compared to 2,000 moving parts in an internal combustion engine vehicle. So and the main thing that goes wrong are the tires.
Yeah, and also the brakes. It has regen brakes. So there's a setting in here that increases that. So as you're driving down the road and you got a stoplight or a stop sign, you simply let off the gas pedal and the engine starts to slow the car down, and it adds back power to your battery, and it doesn't use your brakes. So it uses the torque of the motor to slow you down. And it's a little bit different. That's the biggest thing about an EV car. It's different using one pedal. But literally, we're to the point where we can darn near drive this car without using the brakes. So what's nice with the Nissan is it comes with an app. So I've got the little app right here, and I can go home, and it's updating right now. We're at 86%, and we can go 203 to 210 miles. I could tell it to start charging right now. I can go in and turn the climate control on to heat and air condition, lock the doors, valet alert, like if the guy takes it on a joyride, we'll know that he's left. So it uses geofencing with the car. And then more important, I can go see where the car's at. Like Dianne plays a lot of music gigs, so I could look at maps and navigation and go find our car, and there it is updating. But essentially it's sitting out in our driveway or in our garage right now at our house.
So when you use the car, do you worry about when you plug it in or what time you come home or any of those things?
Right. Well, usually, like if I know I'm going to have a longer drive the next day, I'll just look on the app and see where we're at with the percentage of how much of a charge is left. And if I need to, I'll just plug it in for like an hour, and then I'll be good to go in the morning. And I'm a musician. I play cello, so it's a large equipment. So I throw my cello and all my different sound equipment in the back. It's real easy. It's got a hatch, and I can put the seats down. And I do a lot of gigs and music rehearsals in town, so for around town especially, it's really convenient because I can just throw my equipment in and log my miles and It's been great. I rarely even think about not having enough charge when I'm driving locally.
Excellent.
It's just a little bit of planning when we're going to Colorado Springs or Denver.
This car's 4 years old and has 15,000 miles on it. And this car's 4 months old and has 6,000 miles on it. So you kind of see which car we drive now.
Oh, now we're going to see the size of the trunk. Wow.
Yeah, so we got this other accessory
that comes out, and it actually is a very deep trunk because you don't have all the normal mechanical things with the car. So we bought this little organizer which helps flatten out.
That's an option from
Yeah.
It's only a couple $100, and
but look how much
and it
that
helps
makes it,
flatten
sure.
things out.
Yeah, and so I can take my instrument here and just slide it in, and there you go.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
So you have one back seat flipped
One
down.
down, and then when I have my other electrical equipment, I put the other seat down, and I've got plenty of room.
So Bryan, having an all-electric home obviously means electric heat as well. Can you tell us about your system?
Yeah, sure. We just bought this house about 1.5 years ago, and we were a little concerned because it's all electric, and all electric means air conditioning, heating, all the appliances, the dryer. So there's no gas. Although there is just one little gas line that goes into this family room back there for a fireplace.
Okay.
So that's the only gas used in this house, and it's propane. So this is a geothermal electric heating and cooling system, and much like a forced air heater, it blows air, but it has a series of tubes and pumps. And here's a couple pumps, and it pumps water and liquid out through pipes that are buried in the yard deep down, and it either pulls hot or cool air in depending on the time of the year. It runs through these hot water heaters as well in the winter, so it helps heat the water up, and then you blow air across these tubes, and it heats and cools the house. The house is 4,000 square foot, and which was really concerning. Before we bought it, we said, hey, we got to see these electric bills.
Yeah.
And about the highest bill they had was about $175 a month, which was amazing. So the house is pretty well insulated. It's got 2x6 construction, and they spent a lot of money on putting this system in the house, and we've had it checked up, and it works great.
Now-
Tied with our solar panels, it's really nice.
So that $178, was that before the solar panels?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'll show you a copy of a bill. $9.08 is what it costs to run electricity in our house. So our concerns with an all-electric house was, as we were moving in, getting accustomed to living here, we started adding more appliances. So for instance, this right here is a deep freeze, which we have pretty full.
Wow, Diane, this house feels so cool. I can't believe it. It's got to be 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, well, since we got that quiet, cool fan, it's made a big difference.
You mean
Yeah.
you do not have the air conditioning running?
No, it just, in the mornings we put it on, and it brings the nice cool air in and freshens the house. Any odors too, so yeah.
Wow. Wow, what a view.
Yeah, look at the deer. There's a couple fawns out there.
Wow, did you buy this house for the view, Bryan?
We sure did. We loved the house, and the view was very nice. We've got a 180 view from the Spanish Peaks to Pikes Peak right there.
Wow, there's your solar array. I didn't realize that you had a ground mount, Bryan.
Yeah, we wanted to do that because our house in the front yard is south facing, and we didn't want to see the panels coming from the street. And so it's nestled back there behind our yard on a little knoll, and it's hidden behind a garage and a big tree. Yet the panels get sun all day long. So
Wow.
we've got 21 panels. There's 3 rows of 7. And it's a 7.55 kilowatt peak system, which we spec'd out, we thought would be about 1.2% more than our use per month. We use about 800 kilowatts, I believe, is what we're doing. And we're fairly new here, so we weren't quite sure how much electricity we'd buy or use. And then on top of that, adding an electric vehicle, we had no idea, how much energy it would use, and we're still trying to figure that out. It's only been about 4 months, but I just showed you our last bill, $9.07.
I got to tell you, I'm blown away with the fact that a 7.5 kilowatt system takes care of your needs, because we have a smaller house. How large is this house, Brian?
About 4,000 square foot.
Our house is 2,500 square feet, and we have a 9.5 kilowatt. And I tell you why. I think you've shown us so many things about this house that shows it's really well sealed. I can see how important energy efficiency is in the energy picture.
And adding that whole house fan, as we were talking about earlier, it drops at 5 or 6 degrees easily each night, and so it just cools everything else inside.
So I heard there's an interesting story about how you came to own that Nissan Plus out there.
Yeah, it is. We were looking at electric vehicles for a while. Actually, a friend of mine and I went to the local Nissan dealer, and they had a used one there. It was about 3 or 4 years old, and I thought, well, I should drive it. And both of us were just shocked how nice it was, how fun it was to drive, me and my friend. And so I spent a month telling Diane, gosh, you can't believe this little car. It's really good. And she didn't want to hear anything about it. So finally one day I talked her into going down there, and she instantly fell in love with it.
Yeah, I couldn't get over how much pickup and speed and how quiet it was. It was just really surprised me. I wouldn't have expected that, and pleasantly became in wanting to look more into getting that type of car.
So it was a 2019. The regular model had a 151 mile range on it, and we drove it around for a few days, and when we were buying the car, we heard about another one coming out that had extended mileage, a new Leaf. They call it a Plus, and it was going to be July, August. They had no idea when it was going to come, and this was March. And so we bought this car, we're enjoying it, but it had a 151 mile range, and we're driving to Colorado Springs and Denver quite a bit. And so what happened is one time we stopped by Woodman Nissan in Colorado Springs to charge at their charger, and as a Nissan owner, charging is free at any Nissan dealer in the US. So you just pull up, and they have several different kinds of chargers, a fast one or a slower one, a Chatamo or a level 2 as they call it. And so we went in there, and when you know it, they have 12 brand new Leafs sitting on the lot, and we're talking to them, and they had some Pluses that came in months before we thought. And I couldn't believe it, but they took our car as a trade, a week old, with only a few hundred miles on it. And as a result of the rebates and some other incentives, we actually got into the car very inexpensive. Now we have a car that is advertised at 220 mile range. I can show you our app on our phone. At 100%, it's showing 240, 250 mile range. So it's enough for us to drive to Denver and back without having to stop.
What kind of car did you previously own?
What was my dream car? I bought an Audi A8L. Big, long, four-door car. Most comfortable, nicest car I ever owned. But I had this vision of this house being new back to Pueblo West, of adding solar and potentially having a car charger and doing everything electric in this house and having an electric vehicle. And so I decided to go that route. I sold that car, which paid for our solar system and then some, and then we bought the electric vehicle on that. So, and we haven't looked back. We drive that car everywhere. Probably 90% of our driving is in that one car.
Wow. Can you calculate how much savings in fuel you're having?
Yeah, for instance, if we drive a typical trip to Denver, usually about the south end of Denver, we'll drive like 250 miles. So to take one of our other cars, it's about $35 in gas there and back. With the Leaf, it's free. We have excess energy with our solar panels. We have it set to charge during the day, and it uses excess energy. So between that and then hitting Nissan dealers, also as part of Nissan, there's a charge point system that has free charging at other types of charging stations throughout the country. As a Nissan owner, we get to use that for free too. We've charged at a couple Walmart parking lots for free. So it's kind of neat to do that, especially with Nissan. You go sit in their waiting room, have a snack and a glass of water, go look at their nice cars, and you come back out and about 10% an hour is what it charges.
Excellent. And if you were using a plug-in on your home, do you know how much charge you would get from that?
So our charger is a level 2 charger, and it does about 10% of the battery an hour. So that's about 25 miles per hour. If we were to just use the regular standard cable that comes with the car and plug it into an outlet, just like a lamp or something, that will take about 2 days to charge. So we have a couple businesses and we record our mileage, and what's amazing is that most of our trips are about 20 miles.
Wow.
And so a small trickle charge, even with the slower charge, is all you need to charge the vehicle. You just come back, plug it in, and it's charged again. We have a Solar Edge charger and inverter, I believe, on our solar system, and it has the ability to set a timer. So I have this set from 11 to 6 each day, and it uses the excess energy that we're producing and charges the car. But we can turn it on manually, both with Solar Edge, just say turn it on with the phone app, or with Leaf, Nissan comes with an app too, and we can tell it to turn on. And more important, it's going to be 95 degrees today. We could tell it to turn the air conditioning on right now while it's plugged in, and get in the car and it's nice and cool. And reverse for the winter, we can turn the heater on and get into the car, and it's ready to go.
Oh my
I
God!
especially like
I didn't know that. That's great.
And
I thought you were
I
talking
like
about the house. You're talking about the car.
Yeah,
and
turn
I
on
like
the car.
the heated steering wheel is nice too.
Oh my God!
Heated seats and all
Now,
that.
how
So-
funny. Because people don't think of it as a luxury car.
Yeah.
But these are luxury
It's real
things,
stealthy.
right?
Ironically, we test drove a used Corvette yesterday
Okay.
with 450 horsepower.
Oh my God!
Right? And that Corvette is only 1 second faster than this car from 0 to 60. And we got in it, and we have 2 more doors, and we can haul our cello equipment.
That's great. That is great. So Brian, on the home charging system, was there any rebate available?
No, unfortunately not. And kind of early on is when I met you guys, and I attended some of your meetings with Ryoka. And I think the first meeting I went to was like, who killed the electric car? And I was really looking at EVs at that time, so that was amazing watching that film. And you guys were advocates actually for us with our solar system and other things. But unfortunately, there was no rebates with the charging system. There was with the solar panels, a federal rebate, which we finished that and we already have that back.
Okay.
With the Nissan, and I'm kind of I'm a frugal guy kind
There
of
you
at
go.
heart, okay?
Okay.
And so I hate to pay full price for anything. And with the state of Colorado, you get a $5,000 rebate, which is great, one of the best in the country. And so what that means is you don't have to pay $5,000 in state tax per se. You're going to get that $5,000 back. With federal, though, that's a different story. And so the federal rebate was $7,500. And yeah, it's actually not a rebate. It's a tax credit is what it is. But the key is you got to pay at least $7,500 in federal tax to be able to claim that back. And my understanding, I believe, is you can't carry that over into other years.
That's correct.
And so you better pay enough in federal tax in the year that you do it to be able to gather that.
Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons I haven't retired yet, is because I'm paying tax to be able to get my refund back on this car.
I hear you. Yes, you do have to take the tax credit in 1 year for the car.
Mm-hmm.
For the solar panels, I believe it's 4 or 5 years. You can carry that
interesting.
tax credit
Yeah.
over. So
Yeah.